Just imagine this. The sky is above Earth turning into a war zone of flying metal. Satellites crash into each other and debris rains down at speeds faster than a bullet. Catastrophic, isn't it? This is what happened in 2009 when satellites Iridium 33 and the defunct Russian Kosmos 2251 collided, spraying 2,000 fragments of debris in low Earth orbit. Mind you, scientists have warned us for about 40 years now about such a scenario. And it has a name, the Kessler Syndrome. Back in 1978, NASA astrophysicist Donald J. Kessler predicted that at some point, the sheer number of satellites in Earth's orbit would spiral out of control. One collision could potentially trigger another one, setting up a chain reaction raining destruction into any piece of metal. The International Space Station orbiting in the low Earth orbit would sit dark surrounded by this debris field. And here is the kicker. The debris from 2009, it is still up there, whizzing around Earth, too close for comfort. The US military space surveillance network tracks more than 20,000 pieces of orbital debris, but thousands of smaller fragments, less than 10 centimeters wide, slip past ground-based radars. And they can still punch holes in the spacecraft. Some of it comes from spent rocket stages, some from old satellites, and some from anti-satellite weapon tests. Globally, heads have been turning and countries are taking steps to address this. In 2022, the UK declared that the active debris removal should become a norm for sustainable space operations. And the Indian Space Research Organization reports that the number of collision avoidance maneuvers, those last-minute dodges, is rising every year. India's existing means to track space junk with the multi-object tracking radar based in Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh, has proven limited beyond an altitude of about 800 kilometers. But in December 2024, ISRO has led work to build an early warning system based out in Chandrapur, a small town near Guwahati, Assam. The project, dubbed NETRA, or the Network for Space Object Tracking and Analysis, will see an optical telescope and a radar system to track objects up to an altitude of 2,000 kilometers. We have plots, we have plans, but are they enough? So let's talk some numbers. Today, over 9,000 operational satellites orbit the Earth, and over 5,000 of them belong to one company, SpaceX, through its Starlink constellation. They're providing internet to the remote parts of the world, but SpaceX has approval to launch up to 42,000 satellites in total. Now that's not a typo, and it is happening fast. At this pace, without strict regulation, Kessler's nightmare might become true. It isn't just about traffic or space garbage anymore, but we are seeing space becoming militarized. The US, Russia, China, and India all possess anti-satellite weaponry, capable of destroying satellites with repurposed ballistic missiles. And recently, the US accused Russia of developing a nuclear-armed satellite, a move that, if true, would violate the 1967 Outer Space Treaty and other WMD bans. Space, once a realm of exploration, has turned into a battlefield, a strategic battlefield. So what do? We build cleaner technology, we regulate satellite lifespans, including the US Federal Communications Commission, or the FCC, mandating satellites launched to the low Earth orbit must deorbit after every 5 years. We innovate with debris removal, collision alerts, and better design. But ultimately, the biggest fix is not technical, but philosophical. We must hold planners, companies, and governments accountable. Because when accountability breaks down, so does the future. The space age gave us satellites that changed the world. Communication, climate science, GPS, and even hope. But now we need to protect what we have built. Because if we do not, the skies above may become too dangerous to dream in. So stay grounded and stay aware.